The Witch in the Wood by T.H. White, Chapter 9. Saint Torilvac was sitting on a bollard talking to Pudsey, who kept the shebeen. Pudsey was busy baiting a long cod line with mussels, and Saint Torilvac was taking his afternoon drop. He had fallen into yet another heresy, and did not believe in hell. He believed in purgatory, he said. That was easy. But he really did not believe in hell. His Holiness was celebrating this. "Health," said the saint. "Health and life," replied Pudsey politely. They went on with their respective tasks in comfortable silence. "Have you seen yon woman this day?" "Have you seen yon woman the day?" "There does seem to be several of the darlings in with me. Which one would it be now?" "Yon scraggin' witch, ye gomerel." Is it her ladyship of the castle so?" "Aye." "Sure, and how would the likes of us be seeing queens every day, and she with the two gentlemen above?" I clap at me eyes in her sign," said Pudsey thoughtfully. "She was taking the air, all by the bog road, by her lonesome. I joist happened on her out of the tail of May." "Was she at anything?" "Aye," Pudsey went on with his baiting, turning the matter over in his mind. "She thought there was nane she could see her." "God be good to her forever," exclaimed the saint. "What was she doing after all?" "Och, then, 'twas an ordinary thing enough. She cotched hoot on the flutter by out the hither. There was twa the wee beasties afore she cotched him, at their courting maybe, and the yin of them settled on her head." "Was the black man with her?" Na, 'twas an ordinary thing. She just cotched this flutterby on her hund, ye ken, and pulled him asunder. It was an ordinary thing, certainly." "Thus was courting," repeated Pudsey. "She hauled off the wings, yin after anither." There was a long silence after this, until Pudsey made his final comment. "Her face was na canny," he said. "'Tis unco strange, the face of yon woman. There's yin face she has when she's with herself, and it's nae canny at her." At that moment there came a wild shouting from above their heads, and the 4 Cornwall children ran screaming down the cliff path at top speed. It looked like a determined effort at suicide, for the path was precipitous, and their speed terrific. But the destiny which looks after children brought them safely to the bottom. "Saint Torilvac," said Gawain, "the brains won't set." "Which brains is it, whatever?" "The brains for the bullets. Like in Ireland, Agravain got some brains from a pig that was killed, and we were going to make bullets to shoot people." "There now," exclaimed the saint, "and me never telling you that them same brains must be mixed with lime, or they don't be any good at all." "Where can we get some lime?" "Lime now? Ah, that's a question entirely." "Oh, come on, Torilvac. There must be some lime somewhere." "When you're at shooting," asked the saint cautiously, "which one would you be wanting to shoot?" "Oh, anybody." "We could shoot King Arthur," said Gawain. "Or those 2 knights," said Agravain. "We could shoot King Pellinore and Sir Grummore, and then they'd clear out." "I was at shooting once." "Were you?" asked Gareth. "What did you shoot?" No, don't ask him questions. Make him give me some lime." "I shot at Master Eel." Gareth sat down automatically at his startling pronouncement, and even Gawain faltered in his lust for bullets. Agravain sat down also. Eels repelled and fascinated him. "What is a Master Eel?" asked Gareth. "I cotched a conger myself forby," said Pudsey. She was as broad, round as a man's belly, and she bawled in the cobble like a dog. "'Twas in the church of Kilcumin," said the saint. "It is now more than 40 years ago. There was an eel in it, not that a body would be buried there in the daytime, that this eel would not come out of the Loch Corrib and eat it in the night. It is an absolute fact. The church was a mile from the lake, but this eel had a hole made in the bog that she would crawl out of, and she would never take rest till she was among the dead." "The lime," began Gawain uncertainly. "Shut up," they told him. "Listen to the saint. How did you shoot the eel?" "There did be a gate to this churchyard, you know, and when the master eel came agin it, she would just lay her nose under the gate and toss it away. It was an iron gate too. The people of the country did be afraid to go near her. She had eyes as big as a cow. Well now, there was a man in it one time called Pew-Mail. God be good to him, and he dead. They was waking him 3 nights, but they had to bury him the third. The son of Pew-Mail said to me, 'Only for there will be a bold man, Toyer Dealbeck, to watch my father this night. He will be eaten by the morning.' 'I'll go with ye,' says I. This was before I was made saint. I remember the night. It was in the time of the hard spring weather. There was a big whistlethorn bush in the church, and young Pew-Mail went up in the bush and hid until he'd see how I would prove with the eel. I came then with my sword and the candle with me, and began reading in my book. It was a deep night." "Were you frightened?" asked Gareth. "I was concerned then," admitted the saint. "You could say I had the thought on me. Go on." "At the hour of the middle night we heard the eel coming, and she was whistling." Everybody gasped at this. "I rose up and took my sword in my hand, and she came on all the while until she put in her head. I drew a blow of the sword at her and cut her head off her. The head rose and laid hold of the arch, and it remained there until it fell into dust. The blood was on the stone of it from that day to this. When the people came in the morning, there was nothing but a bright big grey slime track, and not a body has ever been stirred since." "But I thought you shot it?" asked Gawain, when he could see the story was finished. "So I did. I cut off her head and shot her also, to make sure." "I don't see the sense of shooting her after you had cut off her head." "Do you not? Ah, well, half a word is sufficient to the learned man." And St. Torielvac quietly got to his feet to amble off while they were still considering the application of this proverb. You see, he had told the story to get out of providing the lime, for people really did make bullets in the way he mentioned in the old days. "Glory be to God," they could hear him remarking to himself as he wandered away. "Why should she be after pulling the wings off them, the small creatures, at all?" And that's the end of chapter 9.